What's up, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more INXS. As always, major thank you to Nikita, who has sent multiple albums and selections, as well as Yvonne, who sent a greatest hits compilation. But yes, we're continuing through X 1990, and the next tune is The Stairs. So it gives a visual reference. I wouldn't be surprised if we are speaking of literal stairs, though even then I would imagine it to be in a specific and maybe historical context. The idea of, the house he grew up in, the stairs, or maybe spending time on the stairs or under the stairs as a place of refuge or a place where you made your own space. Of course, it could be stairs also, or separately, or otherwise, as a metaphor or a figurative, whether ascending or descending, expression of some process or journey or obstacle for the narrator or others. Meaning, I wouldn't be surprised if this functions on multiple levels, but it is, of course, just a two-word phrase, difficult to get more of a read on. Let's give it a listen and see what I can catch. This is INXS. The song is The Stairs, and it's from their 1990 album X.
In a room above a busy street, the echoes of the light, the fragments and the accidents, separated by incidents. Listen to the walls, we share the same spaces, repeated in the corridors.
Oof. What a tune. That was very epic. It reminded me, especially in the first minute or two, and even at a couple points after that, of some of like U2's most epic tracks in the like second half of the 80s, which, you know, to me is a very positive comparison. Sometimes when I do those types of comparisons, I instantly worry because if a fan of one band doesn't like the other band, then they might bristle at such a comparison. But I mean that in a very positive way. It just had scope and it had that full epic quality. And I mean, even the intro, it really kind of took its time, and there were layers coming in and the percussion, and then like a kind of full, rich, like texture, and then it launched into the song proper. And I mean, even the vocals had that real epic, you know, kind of, we're speaking of grand matters and human concerns here. And as far as I could tell, it's on that scale lyrically, and Stairs is being used both literally but also as indicative of a meta perspective, which is to say, you know, the idea that we share these spaces and, you know, building to building, story to story, street to street. It's like we're zooming out and looking at all this humanity and people who, again, are in the same physical spaces, but who perhaps are, you know, on their own different trajectories, or maybe even like not making connections or not seeing each other as other humans, but just kind of passing each other on the stairs, which is, you know, like, number one, it gives you a visual reference of people going in different directions, but the idea that maybe some people are going up while others are going down. There's people who are literally right next to each other but maybe know nothing about each other. I feel like there is some profound point about humanity and, you know, modern civilization and our mental lives in that context happening here. I just don't quite know. I can't like pin it down specifically, but yes, I definitely enjoyed the visual reference with a clear understanding that there's something bigger being described. And again, references to physical structures and geography, but I think the point is more psycho-emotional and human, or anthropological perhaps. Nevertheless, I really did enjoy this one. As I had said, it had a sweep and a scope to it, and the vocals really gave it a bit of gravity as well. So yeah, not the most like rocking tune I've ever heard from them, but on the same tier in terms of like intensity, if that makes sense. So yeah, really, really cool one. I enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Thank you again to Nikita, and Luca and I will see you next time. Peace.